Welcome to True Potential TV. I'm Andrea Corella, your relationship consultant and licensed professional counselor. And if you'd like to join thousands of couples around the globe who are dedicated to creating a hot, healthy, happy, and harmonious relationship, head on over to truepotentialcounseling.com to sign up for email updates that I only share with members in my community. In today's video, I am going to be covering what are the signs if you have ADD or workaholic tendencies. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some tips and strategies to overcome workaholism and ADD tendencies in your life and at work. I have a bit of a confession to make. I'm a workaholic with ADD. Yes, it's true. I get a great sense of accomplishment from checking things off my to-do list. And yes, sometimes I can get really caught up in a creative, inspirational mode that sends me in 5 different directions, leaving me unfocused, burnt out, and really overwhelmed and tired. So I realized that this old way of operating wasn't working for me anymore, and I realized that I needed to implement something that was going to be more sustainable for me and my business in the long run. And so I decided to start delegating tasks, being able to give other people who are experts in other areas responsibility rather than trying to be it all, do it all, have it all, as well as being able to get out of my own way of the I need to know it all before I put it out there mode. I decided that I was going to start Googling things and YouTubing things and helping have other people figure it out rather than all the responsibility being on my shoulders. And when I did that, things really started to change. Another thing I started to do was set some boundaries between my work life and play. I was finding that my work and personal life was bleeding into each other. I realized that sometimes when I was with my fiance, I would be brainstorming work ideas, or even at times when I was focused on work, I might be researching something online or checking something on Facebook, and I realized that I needed to be present and focused on what I was doing. And as soon as I did that and created these boundaries, things really started to open up. So another thing that I did is I started organizing my calendar in a different way. In the past, I used to organize all my to-dos and then I'd squeeze in my self-care activities last. I realized that this wasn't functioning well, and I ended up always disregarding my pleasurable activities, and then I was just always working. So I realized that I needed to put my pleasurable activities first, implement my self-care activities and my time with friends and my time with my fiance first, and then implement the work time last. Then I found that going back into my work, I was much more productive and I could be fully all in because I felt really satisfied with my life overall and how I was living my day-to-day life. And by doing this, it really was a game changer. Another thing that I began to do was I prioritized things according to importance as opposed to urgency. Before, I was making my decisions both rationally, what is the most priority item here, but I would ultimately end up sabotaging it and do the activity that was more emotional or was related to somebody else depending on me to accomplish something, or something that I felt emotionally pulled towards as opposed to what was going to help move the needle forward in my business. And as soon as I started focusing on what was important and not get caught up in the emotional pull, I started seeing that I prioritized and was able to move the needle forward in my business in a totally different way. Another thing I did was I started setting a timer. By doing this, it did 2 things. It allowed me to start being really focused on the time that I was focusing on each task. And it also allowed me to get a real accurate read of how long each task took realistically, as opposed to what I had envisioned. By doing so, I really started realizing that a task that I had scheduled an hour for really took 2 hours, or vice versa. Something that I had given myself like 4 hours to do really could have been crunched down into an hour and a half had I had focused attention. So I started having realistic time frames, and I started setting my timer to stay focused. And it really worked. Another thing I did is I set up accountability partnerships by hiring staff. Now, what this allowed me to do was create systems in my business so that I could actually delegate a task and have somebody implement the steps rather than me having to try to do everything. This also allowed me to become accountable to someone else that was waiting on material that I was creating. What that allowed me to do was to start batching my content in a way that I would do the same tasks 15 times or 10 times. So by doing that, it freed up my time in a new way so that I could actually have fun while somebody else was working on my business simultaneously. In trying to change any addictive behavior or any distractible tendency, it takes time. And being able to be really intentional, mindful, and focused is really key to breaking some of those old patterns. It sometimes felt like I was in the ring with a sumo wrestler that was wanting to jump on top of me and pull me back into old ways of operating. And so what I found is having that 90-day focused attention on this new way of operating really helped me. So being able to be really intentional, being able to be really honest, and have a supportive community that was helping me in the process to stay on this new path was really key in overcoming some of that resistance and some of those challenges that I faced along the way. Now I'd love to hear from you. What are the ways that ADD or workaholism have gotten in your way? And what are the strategies you've used to overcome your workaholic or ADD tendencies? Be sure to share your comments in the comment section at truepotentialcounseling.com so that you can share your insights, gain insights, and get support from the supportive True Potential community. And if you like this video, be sure to share it with your friends. And so that you don't miss any upcoming episodes, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I look forward to catching you next time on True Potential TV. What are the workaholic or Share your comments in the comments section on my blog so that the supportive community can be available for you. Okay.
Create a Relationship You Love is coming up. Want to join hundreds of couples who are creating a happy, hot, healthy, and harmonious relationship? Sign up now for my free 3-part video series at www.createarelationshipyoulove.com.